Let's begin with the stairs. You have to have an exquisite experience when you're entering a house of this magnitude. So that will be your first taste, the client's taste into what to expect as we're going forward. When you get to the top of the stairs, you are obviously greeted by some really, really beautiful columns. They're all around this house and they're exquisitely done. These are so perfect. The molding is simplistic yet so outstanding. The shape of this makes the entrance feel so grand. They're perfect. I'm seeing about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at this entrance, and it is the most beautiful view as you're coming in from the gate. We'll get to see more of these as we're going through, but you guys know some of these things look really, really simple once they're done. I could stand here and say it's exquisite and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, but I always have to highlight the fact that before an idea like this can come into fruition, there's a lot of brains that have to come together. This is a grand example of when teams work together to create magic. So first step, our lead designer, Mr. Cleophas Nyagaka, has to sit down, look at the structure and be like, what would fit the design? Then he can sketch that out, rally up the team, tell them this is what we're trying to do, get them to understand how they would go about creating something like this. But it's also a great showcase of job creation. When you are coming to a country like Uganda, we're not necessarily going to carry our entire team from Kenya. We're gonna come to Uganda and we're gonna find a team from here. So that means we're also exchanging ideas. These pillars represent so much about what fine urban construction and interiors is all about. And that's why as I go through the store, I will be taking pause every time we see a column like this because they're truly a work of art. Moving on, we have a really nice feature over here. When I was told about this by the lead designer, I was kind of like, oh, that sounds really, really interesting. We are going to have a jet of water falling into this pit here, but as I always say, I could tell you what it will look like, but make sure you are subscribed so the next time that I come here, we can see the changes. One thing you're gonna notice, all these houses have really, really big openings, and that starts from the entrance. You'll see that on the windows and as we go throughout, but they play a really, really significant role. This house has some of the best lighting. The environment is so great. So even as I'm standing here, it feels really, really open. And I know at this moment it's because we don't have any doors in place at the moment, but the way we're gonna finish it off with all those huge glass panes, it's gonna retain this feel. We're still gonna have this much airflow and this much light. Now I have stepped into what will function as the living room. Immediately, if you're keen, you're able to see that all the electric wiring has been done. So over here, obviously this looks like where the TV will stand. But another thing you need to know is the fact that this is a smart home, meaning there will be a lot of automated features. For instance, we are going to have automated curtains, but as we go on, I'll be able to reveal more of those things that make this house a smart home and a step above everything else that we're doing currently. So let's look at some of the other spaces. So we have a couple of pillars here, but I wanna go from the living room into the dining area, and then we can head into the kitchen. So I can see we have another opening here, which means this house is really, really accessible from multiple angles. We've also kept that really big. I'm seeing different provisions, meaning each and every one of these openings is going to have that automated feature. And as I continue on, I'm seeing another provision, which tells me all the plumbing work at this stage is completely done. I'm seeing a provision here for a sink, and now I am walking into the dining room, which also has another large opening. Accessibility through this house is absolutely wonderful. The way we're able to navigate, I could have come in from any angle, but I'm thinking from the dining room, you could also use this outdoor space here if you just want to have like an afternoon tea or something. But that view of that water is going to be absolutely perfect when you're in here. This is quite spacious, and obviously I am looking up, and this is another house that's gonna have the AC units all throughout. We are all about giving you comfort in terms of changing your environment and the temperatures. So having the AC will be such an important touch in making sure that this house is always catering to the needs of the owner. nice big window, nice big openings. You're gonna notice that a lot of our windows, we've kept them quite low because we wanted to take up as much space off the wall as possible. Anytime we're working on a site that has very beautiful surroundings, we make sure that we have really big openings so that the client, as they're walking through their house, they never lack a view of the beauty that surrounds them. So something that you might not notice initially is the fact that there was a huge structural change that was made for this wall in particular, which has vastly improved this kitchen. So this opening over here leads into a bedroom that we'll look at in a minute, but initially it was somewhere about this area, I would say. And if you can clock it, you know that that would now cause an issue in terms of kitchen space. So we move that over there. Not only does that create more kitchen space, but it creates privacy for that room. So you don't have this really direct through line from the kitchen into the bedroom. So with that done, we now have a space for the cooking area. We have recessed this wall to make sure we have all that good stuff, the microwaves, the fridges. You guys know that we like having things tucked in so we're not taking up unnecessary space. So this will be a really functional area of the kitchen. But if you're looking at these, you can tell we're planning to have a really, really big island. I have been told one of the automated features is going to be a hood that recesses into the gypsum, so it's nice and seamless and hidden away. That sounds absolutely classy, and I cannot wait to be back here and see how that actually turns out. Another thing we've done to expand the kitchen is over on this side. So this kitchen initially ended somewhere here, and then this area was a balcony, but we thought that was not a really good use of space and we could create more space for the kitchen. So we created that slab up top, closed this off, and now we have more kitchen space. We also have a very big pantry. So you can see overall with all the changes that we've been able to make in all these spaces, it is vastly improving the experience of using this space. And with the open plan, that's what you need. You need more space to be able to move around and do different things. With the privacy we've created, we have a little bit of a hallway. And then room number one. This, I hear, might function as the guest bedroom. You'll see that all the rooms are quite spacious. It's not super huge, but they have been made to measure. We've done all the electrical wiring. This isn't the best room to show you the bathroom. As you can see, it looks like we are storing some stuff in there, but I will be getting into detail as we go through. But another thing to note is we're keeping those windows nice and big. This might not seem like the most exciting view at the moment, but once we finish it, everyone will have a really, really perfect view throughout this entire property. Let's go to the other side of the house where there's been some big, big changes. So right over on this side, another huge structural change has happened. This door was initially much wider. You can look down here, we can see a line of demarcation. That's where the door initially reached. So that means this landing area wasn't there. So there was a complete reconstruction of the stairs, which I will get into once we start going upstairs. But this door was much wider, and there was another door right here. This side of the house had 3 bedrooms. And as we go in and take a look at the first bedroom here, you'll understand exactly why we did what we did. So take a look at this room. It feels really spacious, right? It really feels spacious, but it initially ended right about on this beam. So that was the room. So by blocking off that entrance and sacrificing a room, because this side had 3 bedrooms and we've turned them into 2, closed off that door, broke down this wall, we've expanded, and now we have a much, much bigger bedroom with its own bathroom. You guys can come in here and I can really truly explain what the vision is when it comes to the bathrooms of this house. There is, of course, the fine urban touches. With all the plumbing done, I am able to tell you we are going to have the sink over on that wall. We're gonna have the shower over on this wall, and where am I looking? I'm thinking the toilet bowl will be somewhere near the window because it just makes sense. So in terms of the shower, we're looking into the future. We're looking at all the options that you'd want in your bathroom. So you're gonna have your regular shower, you're gonna have a mobile shower, and you are gonna have the option of the rainfall feature. I just think I see a feature like that in like 5-star hotels, and to have that in your home is really a touch of luxury that you just you can't buy. You really can't buy that. So, and we have the recessed features on either side. We always like to say this is for displaying your goods, your shampoos, your shower gels. But if you have extra things to store as well, it's just nice to have that built in, so you're not trying to balance things on windows or buying extra things that will take up space unnecessarily. So we'll see what that expansion has also been able to do for this other room. That door closed off, and now we are in the second bedroom, and now we have bigger rooms, 2 bigger rooms that are well thought out, and I guarantee you when it comes to the layout, it's going to be absolutely perfect. We all know at this point when it comes to bathrooms, you definitely need to consider that ventilation, but also, I mean, this would be quite a view. I like how low the windows are throughout this property. Let's continue. So over here is a whole new bathroom that didn't exist. There is a lack of a common bathroom for guests to use, so we've created a whole new one here. It's tucked away and private, just like we like it. But trust and believe, when it comes to the fittings, it's going to be as exquisite as all the bathrooms in this house. We widened out that landing area. This was initially a spiral staircase that ended somewhere down there, but we have gone ahead and made a simpler design that is more fitting to this house and to the aesthetic. We've gone ahead and straightened this out, and it's a much better experience. And considering the aesthetics, this is a very modern house, so this staircase really does make sense. This landing area is super fitting. It's wider, it feels safer and less precarious. And of course, elephant in the room, the stairs are not completed. You can tell we're still in the stages of leveling it out and making sure they're comfortable. But once the tiling comes in, we're finishing this off with glass. Glass is really, really in when you're designing things that you want to really last a long time and not age badly. So this client was like, glass sounds perfect. Another thing, one more thing, there's so many things on this stairs. This wall right here. It is a curved wall. It's such an interesting feature in this house, and we've kept it. And initially we thought about doing a waterfall, and then we were like, you know, might be a bit high maintenance for an indoor experience. So we've decided to go with a green wall, which will be such a wonderful focal point and such a great pop. Because we like elevating the transitional spaces, we definitely want to create an experience on this wall. So maybe like an art piece on this wall and some broken mirror designs, just so you have that wow factor as you're moving from downstairs to upstairs. So let's go over to that side. This is a balcony that is beckoning me. For the landscaping, it's mostly going to be green. So best believe that whatever angle you're at, you're going to have something beautiful to look at. And this is going to be one of those points. It's a great addition because it also gave us another opportunity to use these columns and this beautiful design. So we have that on either side. Here we have bedroom number 1 on this floor. So downstairs we had 3 rooms. This is the 4th room in this house. Nice, big, spacious. I like these nooks that I'm seeing as we're going throughout, because I can really see us building the cabinetry in this section. I'm seeing all the points on the wall. Looks like the headboard's going to be on this side. I can see something that looks like a TV, and this is the first glimpse that you get. This is the first glimpse that you get to really see what a winner these views are. I am looking directly into Lake Victoria. That is crazy how close that is. It literally feels like I could reach out and touch it. It's absolutely wonderful. And something I may not have pointed out, we have something in the wall right there. Y'all should be able to recognize this feature. It is something that we have begun adding as a company, because part of innovating and looking to the future is finding unique ways to use things that you ordinarily use. You guys know we love a good cove light in our gypsum designs, but now we found different ways of using LED light to elevate even rooms that might be simple. So the bathrooms that we're doing now will have a touch of light, and it'll just be absolutely perfect. Immediately, again, nice big room, great views, so much light pouring in during the day. Oh, and I can see for this one, there's a bit of a balcony here. Lucky, lucky. I will always pick a room that has a balcony, just because I do view myself as the type of person who will have a chair out there and just kind of isolate myself from everyone while I'm in my room. We can take a sneak peek at the bathroom. Let's see. Sink, toilet bowl, shower. For this one, I'm saying it's not the biggest bathroom, so we've only done one side, but it's still super functional, and that's the point. Nice big windows. To the master bedroom. Here we are. Oh wow, the headboard over here. I'm seeing what looks to be, we might have 2 TVs in this bedroom. So it looks like we're gonna have a TV over here, but I've also been told there's gonna be a bit of a lounge area here. So with lounging comes entertainment. You're gonna have another TV over on this wall. There's so much room, so we're actually able to do that. And 2 large windows. Oh, these are amazing, these views. If you want to step out, we put these windows low for a reason. These will also function as doors. So big sliding glass windows / doors, and easy. You can step out and enjoy the balcony, but we're not going to do that just yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But over on this side, we have more room. So I've kept calling this area the walk-in, but that's not accurate because we're not creating any partition between these spaces. All we're gonna do, the partition is gonna consist of how we built out the cabinetry. So there's gonna be the his and hers section, and this also has a balcony. Wow, that's amazing. I absolutely love the fact that your walk-in is also gonna have a great view that you can actually step out. But this is also such a great way to introduce light. If there's gonna be any vanity of any sort in this area, best believe that your makeup is gonna be on point. You're gonna be able to see everything. But this is also where we have the master bathroom. We're gonna fit it with the shower, as I explained, mobile, regular, and rainfall shower, always top of the market fittings for fine urban construction and interiors. So even when I'm explaining it, I want you to imagine the best things in the market, and that's exactly what we're going to source for each and every bathroom in this house. You know, there's extra touches for the master bathroom. Over here we have that niche feature, his and hers sink. That's something I always say, 100% in my house I am doing that, his and hers sink. We are gonna have a big tub as well, right by the window. We like to create those opportunities. A tub is somewhere you wanna lay down and relax and forget the worries of the world. And the only way to do that is by adding an excellent view. So it just makes sense to have the tub by the window. And of course, we're looking at what looks like a provision for a toilet bowl. But I'm also looking around at the niches. Here I can see we've implemented them a bit more. So it looks like we're going to be highlighting different areas to kind of change up the ambience of the bathroom for whoever is actually going to be using this space. But as I said with the other bathrooms, guys, I cannot wait to be back here once we start doing the tiling and really see what this house is going to feel like when it comes to an end. And with saying that, every time I say that, I want you guys to check. Are you subscribed? Are you following us? Make sure you're doing that so that when I'm back, you're also back here with me and we can go through this journey together. So let's go to my favorite part of this house. It is so good, and the fact that it's right next to the family room is perfect. So this will function as the family room, like the lounging area, the more relaxed, less formal sitting area. So nice couches, more relaxed feel. This is where the family will come together. I'm seeing provisions for TV right over here. What else am I seeing here? It really, the world is your oyster. I love spaces like this because even for me standing here, I can't quite envision what I would put here, but that's why we really appreciate the work that our lead designer, Mr. Cleophas Nyagaka, does, because I'm sure he already has an exact vision of what he's gonna do with this space. But now, are you guys ready for the most impeccable views you have ever seen? I'm about to walk through this entrance exit onto the balcony that takes you directly into a whole other world. These kinds of balconies also provide such a great vantage point for the yard. So from here, I can tell you clearly, as you drive in from the main gate, we're gonna have an S-shaped driveway that will lead you into the parking area, like the garage area. from what I'm looking at, it looks like 2 to 3 cars could comfortably sit there. At the moment, we have rubble, but once that's finished, it's going to be a great parking area. We have built it out so that it fits 2 to 3 cars, depending on the sizes, but you want something that is so easy to navigate and is so seamless, and that's exactly what we've done. Most of the landscape is going to be green. This particular client was very, very specific about wanting a lot of greenery so it matches the environment. And then we can see what looks to be a very massive pool. This pool looks huge, but it is with good reason, because we are going to have a sunken lounge within the pool so that it's easy to hop out and get into the water or back. But we're also going to include a waterfall at the far end by the perimeter wall. So it's going to be another feature that just makes the environment feel really, really serene. Next to it, we have the pool house. Takes the cake. This one is one for the books. It looks particularly large, but that is with good reason. So that will consist of the bathrooms, the showers, all the amenities you would need in an entertainment area. We're going to have a bar, we're going to have a kitchenette, just to make sure no one has to run back and forth within the house for any things you might need for the party. And then on top of that, because we want to continue the use of the views in the surrounding area, we are going to have a full-on spa experience on top. So think sauna, steam, I'm seeing a massage room, and it's going to be so relaxing because your views are literally into Lake Victoria and a lot of greenery all around. Between the pool house and this slab over here, we're gonna have a statue just so that space doesn't feel empty, but also it's just adding a little bit of pizzazz. And this slab right over here, this will be a pergola. You guys know we love our gazebos and we love our pergolas. This will be such a perfect place to have like a lunch or even a dinner. If the weather is good enough, you could have a couple of chairs here, maybe a small table. It's just a nice outdoor area. It's another space that's purely for leisure and relaxation and taking full advantage of the beautiful landscape that we've been able to create. So let's continue with this tour. So no matter where we go, anywhere we go, we always ask, do you need water storage? And the answer is almost always yes. So what do we do to create a solution? You guys know we do underground tanks, but for this property, we have built out a water tower. How magnificent. I can see some huge tanks. You're gonna have plenty of water stored on this property, but multi-functionality. I feel like at this point, I should make a song about multi-functionality, because when you see us doing something, it's gonna serve more than one purpose. So apart from being a water tank, it's also a very sympathetic. It's not, overly big. It's an outdoor kitchen. So it's just a place where I like to explain any dirty work, any big cooking that you don't necessarily want to do in your indoor kitchen. This is where you're going to do it. So that space, well used, multifunctional, but the area all around it, we're going to incorporate those features of natural features in the balance of cabro or concrete, or however we choose to finish off this area. Because as you can see, it's so easy to access and there's so many windows on this side. So we want this view to be as gorgeous and as consistent as possible. This is the second project that we have been so graciously invited to renovate by our Entebbe client. These are high-end luxury villas that will function as an Airbnb. So think of the high-end clientele that Uganda gets. Anyone who's coming here for a few days, let's say you're a celebrity or just someone who's really well-known or prominent in society. These are the kind of villas you'd look for an Airbnb. So we're going to do a walkthrough just to get an idea at this stage, what does this look like? So let's go through the house and take a look at some of the rooms. Thank Thank you guys so much for joining me on another wonderful tour. I love coming to Uganda and getting to be here in Entebbe. The houses are completely gorgeous, and this is such a prime example of what fine urban construction and interiors is able to do for you and your structure. For this house, I have walked you guys through all the structural changes that we've done that might seem minimal, but you can see the impact that it's going to have in terms of the living experience when the client moves in. We're all about you and your house and your environment, and that's why I've been harping on about the incredible views. When you are blessed enough to live in an area like this, we are going to come in and put in things that are going to maximize how much you get to take in the natural features. I am so close to Lake Victoria, it's still unbelievable. Once I'm done here, I'm going back up there to enjoy those views more. But if you want to see where this house has actually come from, subscribe. That's the only way you can follow these journeys. We always record each step, and that's because we're a company that prides itself on transparency. So like, subscribe, comment. We love hearing from you guys. But if you're a scroller like I am, go on Instagram, TikTok, or on Facebook. Just type in Fine Urban Construction and Interiors, and you should be able to find us.